Okay, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my video. In this video, I will explain to you the material for 10th meeting. After mid-examination, of course, we will continue the material, yeah, for systemic functional linguistic theory. The last time we talk about much intransitivity system. Now we will go on the second one of interpersonal meaning. But first thing first, as usual, everyone, to open our today's video, as usual, I will explain to you the vision of our Latansa Masiro University. Menjadi universitas yang unggul, berdaya saing global, berjiwa entrepreneurship, berlandaskan akhlakul kalimah. And for our English education study program, vision is menjadi program studi dengan bahasa Inggris yang unggul pada penyiapan bahan ajar berbasis digital dengan pendekatan kearifan lokal, serta edupreneur yang memiliki daya saing global dijiwai akhlakul karimah. And also, I nearly forget about it. The vision of Faculty Teacher Training and Education menjadi fakultas keguruan dan ilmu pendidikan yang unggul pada penyiapan bahan ajar berbasis digital dan edupreneur yang dapat berdaya saing global dijiwai akhlakul karimah. And also, I have Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 269. It's about knowledge as a gift from Allah. I will just read the meaning of this surah. Allah grants wisdom to whom he wills, and whoever has been granted wisdom has certainly been given much good. And none will remember except those of understanding. Yeah, in this Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 269, said that knowledge is one of the blessings bestowed by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Through knowledge, humans are able to comprehend the wisdom embedded in life. Knowledge not only provides understanding but also cultivates wisdom in action. Therefore, seeking knowledge is one of the ways to attain the great blessing from Allah. Okay, everyone. Now, I will continue for the material of systemic functional linguistic, of course. This is a new theory continuing from context of situation, yeah. The second part of context of situation is interpersonal meaning, yeah, the grammar of interpersonal meaning. And in this occasion, interpersonal meaning, we will talk much more about mode and modality system. Let's check it out, everyone. But at the very first time, I will make a summary, yeah, about the additional meaning. And that will be a bridge between additional meaning and interpersonal meaning. This is the summary. If we talk about additional meaning, then we will remember about experience, yeah. Experience of the word in terms of process. And also participants and circumstances. Uh, the processes are typically realized as a verb which may describe an action, or a feeling, or a taste of being, or a way of behaving, either happening in the world around us or within our own consciousness. Processes are often accompanied by mention of who or what is participating and possibly also the circumstances. Where, when, why, and how. This is all about the process, participant, and circumstances that we already learned in additional meaning or transitivity system. And then, how about interpersonal meaning? There are 2 points here. Language functions to facilitate exchange both of information of goods and services. And the second one, the interpersonal meta function deals with our use of language to interact with our partners in the exchange. You need to understand interpersonal meaning. Uh, it's all about the exchange, yeah, between one person to another. So, we will, or this theory will more analyze about the relationship between the exchange, yeah. Okay. Holiday approaches the grammar of interaction from a semantic perspective. He points out that whenever we use language to interact, one of the things we are doing with it is establishing a relationship between us, between the person speaking now and the person who will probably speak next. And then to establish this relationship, we take turns at the speaking. As we take turns, we take on different speech roles in the exchange. Yeah. The basic speech role we can take on are giving. Would you like to borrow my copy of the Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows? Like that. Or The Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows is a novel by J.K. Rowling. This is the example of speech roles, yeah. And then, oh yeah, it's fine. And then for another speech role, it's demanding. The example is, can I borrow your copy of the Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows? Who wrote the Harry Potters and Deathly Hallows? At the same time as choosing their either to give or demand in exchange, we also choose the kinds of commodity that we are exchanging. Yeah, it can be good, service, or information. The choice here is between exchanging information. What kind of information do you want to exchange? Yeah, it can be who wrote the Harry Potter, or you can also make a statement giving the information, asking for information, or giving the information. Or you can also asking the goods, yeah. Can I borrow your novel? Like that. Or you can also um giving, yeah. Would you like to borrow like that? By cross classifying these 2 dimensions of speech role and commodity, we can come up with the 4 basic moves we can make to get a dialogue going. These 4 basic moves types of statement, question, over, and command are what Holiday refers to as a speech function. So we said that every stating move in dialogue must be one or other of this speech function, and each speech function involves both a speech role and a commodity choice. The dialogue is inherently interactive. Typically, it doesn't involve simply one move from one speaker. We need also to recognize that after one speaker has initiated an exchange, or another speaker is very likely to respond. Thus, we need also to see that there is a choice between initiating and responding move. Sometimes we can make an initiative and we can also just responding to the person we talk with. Yeah. For the example here, who wrote? This is the initiating. Or you can make a statement giving the information for something. This is your initiation, yeah. And the responding can be different, yeah. Our choice of responding moves is constrained by the initiating move that has just been made. Every time I take on a role, I assign to you a role as well. Every time I initiate an interaction, I put you into a role of responding if you want to interact with me. The alternative we face in responding can be broadly differentiated into two types: supporting types of responding move versus a confronting type. So this can be like that, this one. You can see both of the initiating, supporting response, and also confronting response. Because when we talk or when we communicate with someone, the responding can be different. Yeah, it can be positive, it can be negative. Yeah, it depends on the speaker want to respond. Yeah, and then holiday make a speech function here. Yeah, or speech role here become the commodity exchange, yeah. There is a speech role, information, good and services, giving, demanding, statement, question, over, command, like that. And then we go back to the semantic of interaction here. In some register, the expected response is a supporting move. But as the dialogue illustrates in other registers, such as a casual conversation, the confronting responses are more common. Incorporating this interactive dimension, we can now summarize our picture of the semantic of dialogue as in speech function pair. This is what we gonna learn about speech function, yeah, because this speech function now will become a baseline for the mood, yeah, that we will use in analysis uses interpersonal meaning. So here the speed function pairs. There is a initiating speed function, responding speed function. It can be supporting or confronting over command statement question, acceptance, compliance, acknowledgement, answer. If it is a say no or confront, it can be rejection, refusal, contradiction, disclaimer. Okay. And then this is now gives us a list of 8 speech function classes which we can use to describe the move sequences in a simple dialogue involving 3 speaker A, B, and C. Look at here. Uh, if we say, have you ever read the Harry Potter? This gonna be a question. I really wouldn't know. Then it's gonna be the answer for disclaimer. Yes, I have, and it's gonna be the answer, a positive answer, and so on. Yeah, you can classify it here. You can take a look on here. That's kind of responses can be positive or negative. So, having established a basic picture of how dialogue works, we need to ask how this relates to the clauses we produce as we interact. In other words, what grammatical structure realize these meanings? What is particularly interesting to us about these different speech function classes is that we can recognize a correlation between the semantic choice of speech function and the grammatical structure typically chosen to encode it. Like that, yeah. And for example, yeah, you wish to make a statement, you will typically use a clause of a particular structure. So, if you want to make a statement, you can, or we can call it declarative clause or declarative mood, yeah. It depends on the speech function and speech rule you choose. And on the other hand, if you wish to make a comment, you will use an imperative clause or imperative mood, yeah. And then, if you want to over something, you are likely to use a word like interrogative, what we call a modulate interrogative, yeah. Would you like to borrow my copy? This is the example of modulate interrogative. And finally, if you wish to ask a question, you will of course use this kind of clause we call an interrogative clause or interrogative mood. Okay. And you have also uh, to pay attention that when we want to make a question, it not only using would have, but we also can use WH question. What is it? Who are you? Like that, yeah. So there is also a correlation between the different structure of an initiating move and the structure of a responding move. You can see from the examples given above that most initiating moves are long while most responding moves are short. Responding moves are short because they typically involve some kinds of abbreviation or ellipsis or are what we call minor clauses. Yeah. This term will be explained below. Yeah, this called minor clause. Instead of the others, the answer can be classified into minor clause. Yeah, well, okay, thanks. So everything that's only one words or two words that don't have subject, verb, object, it will classify it into minor clauses. Yeah. That's sometimes happen during our casual conversation in real life situation. Yeah, either we say a long text or long sentences. If both of the speaker understand each other based on the context they are talking about, they just say yeah, well, okay, instead of saying yeah, I know it's by J.K. Rowling. We never repeat the same information that we already know. Yeah, like that. So next, the kinds of differences we are uncovering here are not random. They have to do with what is called the mood structure of the clause. The mood structure of the clause refers to the organization of a set of functional constituents, including the constituent subject. The basic mood types have already been mentioned. Yeah, this is the speech function and the typical mood in clauses. Yeah, you have to remember this, yeah, to analyze the level of mood in interpersonal meaning. If it is a statement and it can be a declarative mood. If it is a question, then it will classify it into interrogative mode. If it is a comment, then it is classified into imperative mood. Over, modulate interrogative mood, answer, elliptical declarative mood, acknowledgement as the same as elliptical, accept, s- and compliance, it can be minor clauses. So, modality, we can go on to the modality, everyone. So, the mood is the end of the mood. I already talked about it. For the modality is another aspect of interpersonal meaning related to the expression of the speaker's attitude about what they are saying. In English, modality is expressed by the use of modal adjunct or possibly by certain adverbs like surely, possibly, or by various thematic structures such as it is possible that, or there is a possibility that, or through a small set of verbs known as the modal auxiliaries. Yeah, as you know, there are several kinds of modal auxiliaries: can, may, might, should, will, and many more. Okay, intonation also plays a significant role in expressing the particular tone of assertion, query, hesitation, doubt, preservation, forcefulness, wonderment, or whatever is it, with which the speaker takes the proportion. Intonation may be analyzed as a complex of three phonological system, or as a Holiday puts it, systemic variable: tonality, tonicity, and tone, which are interdependent with rhythm. This is just for your information, yeah, because in this section, the concept of modality has so far been introduced in terms of the auxiliary verb and their contribution to mood, so we didn't learn about intonation, yeah. In this section, modality as a meaning is considered, and this is presented by looking at the types of modality that can generally be expressed by modal verbs and modal adjuncts. As Holiday and Mathisen explain, modality is a rich resource for speakers to introduce their own views into the discourse, their assessment of what is likely or typically their judgment of the rights and wrongs of the situation of where other people stand in this regard. So in modality here, we will focus on the mood and modality in the text, yeah, kinds of text. Okay, that is everyone that I can tell to you. It's about mood and modality. No, let me stop here and give you the assignment, yeah. Well, give me some times to open the assignment for you. Hmm, where is it, the assignment? Which one, which one, which one? This one. Okay. So for the assignment, this is still the same, yeah, as usual. Of course, you have to watch my recorded teaching video, understand the material about interpersonal meaning, and then summarize everything that I already explained. You have to underline the key points of the material, and you have also to record it by yourself. Yeah, for the video, your recorded video should be around 3 minutes or more. And share your link video in a Google Classroom assignment as the proof you did the assignment. That's all, everyone, that I can tell for you in this occasion. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you on my next video. Bye.